Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news in what could be one of the most shocking trade rumors floating around the NFL this season. There's speculation that the Minnesota Vikings might consider trading superstar wide receiver Justin Jefferson to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds almost too good to be true, but the whispers are growing louder, and if there's any truth behind it, it could be a game changer for the Steelers and the entire AFC North. Justin Jefferson, at just 26 years old, has been nothing short of a game changer since he entered the league. His stats speak volumes. Last season, he finished with 76 receptions for 947 yards and 2 touchdowns, despite dealing with some injuries. But even with those setbacks, Jefferson's average yards per catch hover around 5 yards, and he's consistently been a top-tier receiver in terms of yards after the catch and overall production. His career-high yards per game sit at an impressive 96.5, and he's known for dominating defenses with his route running, speed, and ability to make plays after the catch. The Vikings are reportedly in a bit of a bind financially, with about $15 million in cap space, and they're facing the tough reality of needing to extend key players and address their offensive line. Jefferson's cap hit is significant, and with the team looking to rebuild, especially on the defensive line, some believe that trading Jefferson for future draft capital could give them the flexibility they need. Rumors suggest they might be willing to accept a first-round pick in the 2026 draft and a second-rounder in 2027. It's a bold move, but one that could kickstart a rebuild centered around youth and cap flexibility. Now, why would the Steelers be interested? Well, Pittsburgh has been looking to bolster their receiver core, especially after some injuries and inconsistencies this season. Adding a player like Jefferson would instantly elevate their offense. The Steelers' offense, already dynamic with Kenny Pickett at the helm, could see a massive boost with Jefferson stretching defenses and creating mismatches. We're talking about a receiver who can turn short completions into explosive plays, and with his ability to pick up yards after the catch, he fits perfectly into Pittsburgh's offensive philosophy. From an impact perspective, acquiring Jefferson could add over 0 yards to the Steelers' total offensive output. His presence alone could increase expected points added, EPA, by around 10%, making the Steelers a much more potent threat. This kind of upgrade would turn Pittsburgh into one of the most explosive offenses in the league, capable of competing at the highest levels come playoff time. The combination of Jefferson's skill set and the Steelers' offensive line improving could unlock a new level for Pittsburgh's attack, one that defenses would struggle to contain week after week. Of course, there are skeptics. The Vikings, after all, might be hesitant to part ways with such a talented player, especially considering Jefferson's potential to be a cornerstone for their future. Plus, some worry that losing Jefferson could weaken the Vikings' offense significantly, especially if they're already struggling with their offensive line and overall team strength. Still, the trade rumors persist, fueled by the Vikings' financial needs and the NFL's constant shuffle of rosters for cap management and rebuilding purposes. Now let's talk about the Super Bowl implications. If the Steelers do land Jefferson, their odds of making a deep playoff run could dramatically improve. Currently, their Super Bowl odds are around plus 3,500, but with Jefferson in the fold, some analysts believe those odds could shorten to around plus 2,000. That's a huge boost, especially considering how much a player of Jefferson's caliber can influence a team's postseason success. With Jefferson's playoff experience and ability to shine under pressure, he could be the key piece that pushes Pittsburgh over the edge. Historically, adding a star receiver like Jefferson has been known to elevate teams' performance in critical moments, especially in the playoffs. Think about how players like Antonio Brown once transformed the Steelers' offense. Jefferson could have a similar impact, giving Kenny Pickett a reliable target who can take over games. This move could also serve as a message to the rest of the league that the Steelers are serious contenders, ready to make bold moves to get back to the Super Bowl stage. Now, it's important to recognize that this is still a rumor at this point, and nothing is set in stone. The Vikings are known to be cautious with contracts and cap management, But if the right offer comes along, particularly one that aligns with their rebuilding strategy, they might pull the trigger. The Steelers, on their side, have shown willingness to be aggressive in pursuit of talent, especially when it comes to bolstering their offense and making a real push for a championship. From the Steelers' perspective, acquiring Jefferson would be a game changer. It would give them a true number one receiver who can dominate defenses and create mismatches all over the field. Plus, it would send a message to the rest of the AFC that Pittsburgh isn't backing down from a fight, even in a highly competitive division like the AFC North, which is stacked with talent. The Ravens, Bengals, and Browns are all formidable foes, but adding a player like Jefferson could give the Steelers that extra edge needed to outgun their rivals. Of course, the broader implications extend beyond just the immediate season. If Pittsburgh manages to land Jefferson, they could be looking at a sustained period of offensive dominance, especially if they're able to re-sign him long-term. His presence on the roster would also help attract other top-tier talent in future drafts or free agency, making the Steelers a more attractive destination for players seeking to contend. Looking back at the franchise's history, Pittsburgh has always thrived by making smart moves and sometimes bold trades to build championship-caliber teams. If the rumors turn into reality, this could be one of those defining moments, an iconic trade that could reshape the Steelers' future for years to come. Imagine the roar of the fans if Jefferson dons the black and gold, catching passes from Kenny Pickett and leading the charge to another Super Bowl appearance. That's the kind of headline that could dominate NFL conversations all offseason. Now, I know some of you are probably skeptical. Trades of this magnitude don't happen overnight, and there's always a lot of moving parts. But in today's NFL, with teams needing to be flexible and aggressive to stay competitive, it's not out of the realm of possibility. The Vikings, with their cap issues and rebuilding plans, might see this as a necessary move. Meanwhile, the Steelers, always hungry for talent and eager to return to their winning ways, could be the perfect landing spot for Jefferson. So as we wait to see how this story unfolds, one thing is clear. The potential trade of Justin Jefferson to the Steelers is a storyline that could define this NFL season. It's a move that would send shockwaves through the league and could very well set the stage for a Steelers resurgence that fans have been dreaming of for years. The AFC North just got a whole lot more interesting, and Pittsburgh fans should be fired up about the possibility of seeing their team make a bold, franchise-altering move. The excitement is palpable, and I can't wait to see what happens next. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe that Jefferson could be headed to the Steel City? Would he be the piece that finally pushes Pittsburgh back into Super Bowl contention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. Remember, this is a team that's always looking to make bold moves, and if this trade becomes a reality, it could be one for the ages. Keep that black and gold pride alive and let's see what the future holds.